One of the reactions that you guys wanted to hear from me was about the stuff that Sheryl Swoopes once again said about Caitlyn. She was on Gil's podcast, and honestly, you guys, I think I'm done talking about Sheryl Swoopes.
Imagine being at the top of your game, making it to the playoffs, and then bam, you're hit with racist comments and death threats. That's the reality for some WNBA players right now. The league is growing fast, but with more fans comes more problems. How did we get here? And more importantly, how do we fix it?
So please don't confuse me saying motivated by hate by meaning hating on a team the way a normal die-hard fan would. A die-hard Falcons fan can hate the Saints, but they would be going a little bit too far if they created nude AI pictures of Saints players and then sent them to the Saints players' families. That's what Caitlyn stans have done to Angel Reese.
Let's talk about what went down in that playoff game between the Connecticut Sun and Indian Fever. It was intense, right? Fans were on the edge of their seats. Players were giving it their all. But then things got ugly. After the game, Dejanai Carrington of the Sun got this crazy email. It had racial slurs, threats of sexual assault, even death threats. Can you believe that? This isn't just about Carrington or this one game. It's a whole mess that's been brewing in the WNBA, and we need to talk about it. The league's getting bigger, but so are the problems. It's like the dark side of fame, and it's hitting hard.
I think it's hilarious that she brings up the NFL because NFL fans don't only hate on one another's, send death threats to players.
Has definitely gone too far with some of their racist remarks and their treatments of players. It's not okay. It's okay to be a hater in sports. Like, hating in sports is a part of the game. Like, I like when our fans are so engaged and so passionate that they just don't like the other team.
So let's dive into the growing pains of the WNBA. What's crazier than what happened to Carrington is it's not even the first time this season. The WNBA's growing pains are turning into full-blown nightmares for some players. Think it's just new faces getting heat? Think again. Even 11-year veterans are dealing with stuff they've never seen before. Take Alyssa Thomas, for example. She's been in the league for over a decade, but this season hit different. For the first time in her career, she faced racial comments from Fever fans. That's not just unusual, it's straight up alarming. Thomas called it unacceptable and stressed that players deserve respect. She said, "We've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media." And it doesn't stop there. The online world is like a whole other court, and sometimes it's way nastier than anything you'd hear from the stands. Dejanai Carrington got hit with a disturbing meme involving George Floyd. Can you believe that? He called it so sick and didn't hold back.
Cannot be a representation of what the WNBA would want in their league. This is our league. This was built, I feel like, as a women's basketball historian myself, I've been watching since I was 5. I was here before the league started, as a lot of the fans on social media feel the same. That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us, okay?
Saying, the Fever have the nastiest fans in the W. I've just got to say right here, come on Fever fans, do better. You might think, okay, but what about the big stars? Surely they're safe, right? Wrong. Even Caitlyn Clark, the rookie sensation everyone's been talking about, isn't immune. She had to speak up about people using her name to spread hate. Clark said, everyone in our world deserves the same amount of respect. She called the situation disappointing and not acceptable. This isn't just about a few bad apples or one heated game. It's a trend, and it's getting worse as the league gets more popular. Indiana Fever coach Chris Decides put it perfectly. It's a lot of hurtful, hateful speech out there that's happening, and it's unacceptable. Yeah, so what's really going on here?
A die-hard Celtics fan could hate the Lakers. And you know what? If we being honest, that Celtics fan base has definitely gone too far with some of their racist remarks and their treatments of players. It's not okay. A die-hard Tennessee Vols fan could have hated our UConn Huskies, but they would have been going way too far if they sent death threats to the UConn players. And that's what they've done. That's what Caitlyn stans have done.
Why is the WNBA suddenly dealing with this flood of hate? Is it just part of getting bigger, or is something else at play? I think the WNBA is just hoping this all blows over. Think again. They're bringing out the big guns, but some fans are asking, what took them so long? The league's response might surprise you, and it's got everyone talking. So what's the WNBA actually doing about all this mess? Well, they're not just sitting on the bench, that's for sure. They've come out swinging with an official statement that's got some real punch to it. The league didn't mince words when they said they're condemning all this racist and threatening behavior. They're making it crystal clear this kind of hate has no place in their house. But it's not just talk. The WNBA is putting some serious muscle behind their words. They're keeping a close eye on any threat-related activity. And get this, they're not afraid to bring in the big guns if they need to. That's right, they're ready to call in law enforcement if things get too out of hand. It's like they're setting up a full court press against these threats. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that sounds good, but is it enough? Well, that's exactly what some people are asking. The league's commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, is catching some heat for not addressing this stuff earlier. Some folks are saying she should have been on top of the social media drama way before now, especially with all that noise around the Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese rivalry. The players themselves are speaking up, and they're not holding back. Alyssa Thomas, one of the league's veterans, laid it out plain and simple. She said, "Basketball is headed in a great direction, but we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial things." Talk about telling it like it is. And it's not only the players, coaches are jumping into the fray too. Stephanie White dropped some truth bombs when she said this isn't just a sports problem, it's bigger than that. She called out the racism, sexism, and homophobia, saying sport is no exception and it's unacceptable, to be quite honest. That's some real talk right there. So is the WNBA's strategy working? Well, it's a mixed bag. On one hand, they're taking this seriously. They're not just shrugging it off or hoping it'll go away on its own. They're putting real measures in place, and they're not afraid to bring in the law if they need to. That's a pretty strong message. But on the other hand, some people are saying it's too little, too late. Why did it take so long for the league to step up? Is this really enough to tackle such a big problem? It's like they're trying to stop a flood with a few sandbags. It might help, but is it really gonna solve the issue? Just when you thought the situation couldn't get any more intense, the players decided to flip the script. They're not just complaining, they're proposing a solution that's so obvious it's brilliant. But will it be enough to silence the haters and unite the fans? You've got to hear what Caitlyn Clark's saying about all this. She's not only talking about the game anymore, she's calling for something bigger. Clark's got this simple idea that could change everything. Just be a kind person and treat them how you would want to be treated. Sounds easy, right? But in the heat of competition, sometimes people forget the basics. And she's not alone. The players and coaches are teaming up, and they're not holding back. Stephanie White, the coach of the Connecticut Sun, is dropping truth bombs left and right. She's saying this isn't just about basketball, it's about the big stuff. Racism, sexism, homophobia. White's not sugarcoating it. No, sport is no exception, and it's unacceptable, to be quite honest. These WNBA stars aren't just talking, they're pushing for actual change. They want respect, and they're not afraid to demand it. So what's the game plan? Well, it's not just about cracking down on the bad behavior. It's about building something better. Imagine fan education programs that teach people how to be awesome supporters without crossing the line. Picture arenas with stricter policies that make everyone feel safe and respected. And social media, it's time to clean that up too. It's not just up to the league. The fans have a huge part to play in this. You know how the energy in an arena can change a game? Well, the same goes for the whole WNBA community. If the real fans step up and shut down the hate when they see it, that could be a game changer. Think about it. What if every time someone tried to spread negativity, they got drowned out by positivity? What if, instead of piling on, fans stood up for players and each other? That's the kind of community these WNBA stars are dreaming of. And it's not just a dream. It could be real. Imagine walking into an arena where everyone's there to enjoy the game, cheer for their team, and respect the players. All the players. Picture social media feeds full of highlights, not hate. That's the WNBA these players are fighting for. So, let's wrap this up. The WNBA's got a problem, and it's growing faster than Caitlyn Clark's fan base. We've seen racial slurs, death threats, and all kinds of nastiness online and in the stands. The league's finally stepping up, but some say it's too little, too late. It's not just on the WNBA to fix this. It's on us, the fans. We're the ones who can really change the game. Imagine if every time someone tried to spread hate, we shut it down with positivity. That's the kind of community these players are dreaming of. So here's the deal. Let's be the fans these players deserve. Cheer for your team, respect the players, and don't let hate slide. That's how we'll make the WNBA even better. The ball's in our court now. Let's not drop it. Remember to be kind. Thanks for joining us on this journey through some exciting and crazy times in WNBA history. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and I'll see you in the next video. Now let's go!